the basis to make computers. We don't have the basis to really sell them. So I think the best way is through this platform. And so that's just sort of an introduction of what we have. But I thought it would be great to spend some time with you, talk very briefly about sort of your opinions on this whole industry of refurbished computers, because you guys are a big IT developer, right? And so, do you have anything specifically to say about this?
And then who are the people using what age, and then what's your expectation in terms of?
So, Young Focus is this charity group, like I said, founded in Smoky Mountain, and they are sort of this like daycare / school for all these kids who live in the slums there. So they have grades from I think preschool to about grade 6, grade 7. So kids from that entire age range. But we found, since we've been there multiple times, that a lot of these kids don't have the exposure to technology, so their idea and their kind of grasp on that is very basic. So when I was there over the summer to sort of talk to the leaders there who've built that company up, and when I've talked to the kids, they don't really have like a formal curriculum of what they're doing in terms of IT. A lot of them, they have like some online homework, and they're just teaching them the basic motor skills, websites, search browsers, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, very basic sort of, nothing coding, no real fancy computer skills, but just the sort of things necessary to survive and to kind of understand the basics of what information technology is all about.
So basically, I think if you're giving refurbished computer, I think if your idea is to give them refurbished computer. And then this basically, I just want to understand if I hear you correctly. So you're giving to maybe grade 6, grade 7 kids.
Most of them are, it's actually a big spread, but most of them are younger than that. It's actually, I think, grade 2, grade 3 is...
Yeah, but kids now are tech savvy, so...
You have to understand that these kids are from like the slums, so they've never had the experience before. I'm sure they'd be...
Yeah, but I mean, they might not have computers, but even if they're in the slum, funny thing in the Philippines, they have cell phones.
Yeah.
Then sometimes they will have access to smartphones.
Meeting with the people in charge, they've actually informed me that social media plays a big part in these kids' lives. So I think that's sort of a gateway for them into.
So I was about to say, I think in terms of if you give them refurbished, it's okay.
Right.
As long as it's internet capable.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think what's important if there should be broadband. There should be access to Wi-Fi, because if you just give them computers, nowadays everything's into the cloud. So they'll learn Word, they'll learn, but these are the most basic. You learn a lot of things in the internet, and not just on how to use the computer, but other skills. You go to YouTube,
for sure,
you learn a lot of things. So I think that's pretty good. But I think important if you want to buy, a basic refurbished is okay, maybe 2 or 3 years. But you have to have I think the most important is you have to have internet. So basically, what you're doing is just giving them the computers.
Yeah, we've been in contact with them for about a year. So we're very close with the people who run the foundation. But I think another idea behind the basis of this organization that we've come up with is being mindfully aware of the environmental impact of computers. I mean, I understand that a lot of computers have a certain shelf life, and a lot of it gets reduced to waste. And with refurbished computers, it's sort of giving new life, hence the name Reboot, giving new life to these computers. So we kind of reduce our carbon footprint in that sense, which is another big philosophy that we're very intrinsically sort of.
How old are you now?
I'm 18. Yeah.
Very mature.
You think so?
No, for 18 to think like that. No.
All right.
Normally, the 18-year-old that I know, normally they just play their computers. So at least there's a corporate, they call it corporate citizenship responsibility.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, it's just been, I guess, like a product of my environment. So everyone's kind of like that. But yeah, so going back to that, this environmental factor is such a huge part of the world today. We're just trying to make sure that we reduce our carbon footprint. It's in any way possible, as small as this, or even as huge. It's kind of that. I was kind of wondering, actually, what is the market like for refurbished computers in the Philippines right now?
unfortunately, in the Philippines, but when say market, let's say we're selling the.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a company called Asia. I think.
I've actually been in contact with some of them.
Yeah.
But so is that sort of the main?
Yeah, but the market depends, but I don't think it will really hit mainstream.
Okay.
Because IT, in terms of computers, it has really went down. The price of it went down, and so and then you have also the proliferation of smartphones, things like that, and even in a way refurbished
Yeah.
smartphones. So in a way, I don't think the business or market. For us, we're selling brand new computers, and we don't really see them as a threat.
Okay.
And but I think in terms of maybe your question should be, are there a lot of refurbished that you can use and then you can donate? I think yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of global customers. If you approach them correctly and you show them what you intend to do, I think they will be more than glad to
For sure.
share these computers, because normally computers after 3 years, especially the big ones, depends on the economy.
Yeah.
If the economy is good, after 3 years they will
Come up with something new.
they will have it
Yeah.
replaced.
Right.
Then these are the global multinationals that you have to approach. That's a good thing. But for them buying refurbished,
From like an environmental standpoint, though, do you think, or you guys are big technology distributors? What have you guys been doing in terms of that? That's sort of benefited, or what have you guys been planning to do in terms of anything that is environmentally beneficial, or do you guys?
are you talking about AMTI or are you talking about the Philippines as a whole?
We can shoot
Yeah.
both.
Now,
We can
if
shoot
you
both.
think of the Philippines as a whole, unfortunately, the awareness in terms of environment is not yet there. People are saying, talking, you have to save the environment, you have to do this.
No actions being taken.
No actions are being taken. There are some companies that's been doing that, but it's not really. I mean, if the problem is food, if the problem is poverty,
Yeah.
you
want a
don't
director.
think of that would be the priority instead of the.
Understood.
If you're a first world country like let's say United States,
Sure.
then that's
Yeah.
different. You think about the environment, but if the food, I mean the very survival of someone, then you think about how to make money, how to
Yeah.
put food in the table. So that's the thing here. But lately, there are some companies that's especially the more affluent one.
Yeah.
They're
They have
starting to
the
talk
ability.
about this, but they are like singing. They're like they're in the dark. They're looking for light. There's not really a lot of people listening. Yeah. But what we do in AMTI is that we have a lot of projects. We have lots of projects that save the environment. For instance, we partner with a foreign company that we did the satellite modeling, the digital satellite. We use the satellite to digitalize the topography of the Philippines, and then what we did with that satellite model, the digital, is we gave it to the Pag-asa. I don't know if you're familiar with Pag-asa. Pag-asa is our weather bureau, department of weather bureau, and they use that to do their flood modeling model
Right.
for the software.
Yep.
The Philippines has always have a problem with flood,
Yes.
and people will just be surprised that water will be coming, and then sometimes they don't know that there will be flood here. And the problem with the environment right now with the Philippines is that the typhoon is getting stronger and
Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah.
So in the past, when they say, it gets flooded here, but it's up to
The year.
knee-deep,
Yeah.
ankle-deep, down knee-deep, then
It's crazy.
suddenly there will be big storm, and then they'll be surprised that it's,
Yeah.
because there's always flood, so people became accustomed to
To
it,
the
and it's
flood.
okay. They're like in the warehouse in
Yeah.
Pasig. Now they're surprised that the water is
It's
over.
higher and
It's
higher.
higher because the typhoon's getting stronger and stronger. So what we did there is that we were able to work with the government and then to put a flood modeling model simulation
Right.
that if the rain is this much, the the flood water, the height will be this
Well,
much.
from that, okay.
So from that perspective, you will
Sort of understand.
understand
Yeah.
people. It's in the internet.
Mhm.
It's part of the project NOAA, if you're familiar. So
Project NOAA.
people tend you tend to save life.
Yes.
Another project that is ongoing is that we partner with the government, with UP, University of the Philippines. This is an NGO,
Yes.
semi-NGO, semi-government project that we put sensors in the river basin of the different river basin in the Philippines, and a lot of things are happening. That, let's say there's big rain,
Right.
there's a big typhoon
Yes.
on the mountains,
Mhm.
and you have kids playing,
Right.
then suddenly water will come in.
Okay.
So what we did there is that we were able to simulate the water
The water flow.
water flow, things like that, and then that saved life also. So
That's
every
amazing.
the river flow, sometimes it's dry,
Right.
and then this couple rain, and then there will be what height, things, and then how fast. So those are the things. If you remember Yolanda, the reason why a lot of people died there is
Yeah.
because I think the warning system was not
Was not functioning.
functioning, and then people tend to, I mean, they always get flood,
Yeah.
but they just
They don't
brush it
understand
off.
the severity.
Yeah,
of
the
it.
severity,
Yeah.
and then even the word tsunami and it was not probably explained.
Yeah.
So I think those things.
I mean, those are steps that you guys are
Yeah.
taking in the right direction.
So we're doing a lot of. I think your questions. In terms of environment, MTI has been working with the government in terms of that. We need to do something that's more sustainable.